Okay. Going live. Okay, I think we are live now. Okay, so I'm not sharing any slide. But let me just, do I have full screen now? Since I'm not sharing slide. All right. I know that we have people coming in. I'll be sharing for those who will be joining. So what I want to do now is to just share around that we are on. Okay, 1 minute. Just share to a few places. Just few of them, then we put some always watch to do things. There's nice music from behind though. So I think we're good to go. Then we can always have people coming in. All right. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a third day 3 of our program, NMSMEs Hip Hop Conference 2023. Is the last day of this program. Just a quick reminder: the first day day 1, we talk about the National Collateral Registry, and we discover the benefits you can enjoy from the registry. We discover the land of the collaterals and the third party. Can use third party and the value and now we can go into banks, and this is talking about movable properties. That it doesn't have to be a real estate. So movable properties, these properties will still be yours, only to be registered with NCR, and then you can easily use that to access fund from banks. And it's said there yesterday we trying to see if we can have the Prosper. We're so sorry for the Prosper session, the network from Prosper. All the same, we had some things, and we're working on how we can get something come up from Prosper to share across. And then we have the Wema Bank representatives, Sterling Bank, and Fidelity Bank yesterday. And then yesterday we learned about we had a session with on data on that's on bookkeeping, management, and I know so well that we learned great things these 3 days. Today, I said we'll be, as part of what we do in the Africa project, we think of what people can do, especially for young entrepreneurs, and then for the existing business that want to scale. So we think of some opportunities that you can consider. And so we'll be having different sessions on that today. And I actually be starting with us. Then just give us a brief, and then we'll have a session on airtime and data. You can have the API, and for a whole year, one you can use for yourself, and you can sell. You can begin to sell recharge card. You can begin to sell data. You can print. You can have PIN. You can make payments. So lots of things put together. So I think we start from there this morning. We have the speaker from Connect, from a speaker from Club Connect. Always have Connect. So in the person of Ologun Festus, is handling the EAP. We have the API. It's handling the EAP recharge airtime and data reseller program. And the airtime and data reseller program, we are trying to empowering young business owners, young entrepreneurs who have interest in selling airtime and data. So we try to find a way, getting them registered, getting the API, and have their app. From there, they can begin to sell. And then we have some arrangements, the registration and everything. So the person that will be taking us is going to talk about this program and how you can be part of it. He's going to be doing that with us shortly. So, but before then, for the other things we have partnership with. I think on all our programs, I always talk about our partnership with TD Africa. With TD Africa, we have a partnership to sell electronics, detail electronics, sell laptops, appliances, and so many things like that. And we're looking at a way. We've tried this in the past, but we're looking at this year. We want to create a platform, a marketplace where young people who want to go into sales of electronics like that can be able to, without having to start with money, and sign up to the EAP resellers, data resellers plan. And once you sign up, you can pick a product, you can pick a laptop to resell, you can pick phone to resell, you can have access to all the products from TD Africa and to resell. And by so doing, you're able to get something for yourself. And then that's one. Then part of our plan this year, because we target to train 1 million digital entrepreneurs in the next 5 years, want to onboard 10 million businesses, 10 million businesses digitalized. So we have a program that is basically to train those who want to become want to design website with WordPress and digital marketers. We have that coming up, as well as opportunity for as many. Then for those who are in the Nidino set, you have a small business, is your business, and you don't have money for website. At the level of your business now, you don't have money. So we have a plan in Business Hub Africa. Our marketplace, the Business Hub Africa, we will be giving out. We will be giving out. We'll be giving out a space, hosting space, and giving you free domain. Where what we plan to do is e-commerce and digital marketing training. And what we do is that we train you how to upload products on your site. We give you a subdomain. Let's say your store is indelible supermarket, so you can have an indelible.businesshub.africa, and then you can be able to market, sell online. So, and then we give you a space, we train you how to upload your product. And then the registered company, so registered company, we train you how to sign up with the payment gateway, so you can use variety. People can be able to pay online and get your product. Then you handle other things, the logistics and the stuff. So we are thinking of this for uh, Nino business owners, and these are part of the things that will be coming up. So and other things. So for now, let's welcome Ologun Festus as he takes us on the and data, airtime and data uh, ad program, resellers program. So let's welcome him. Please, you're welcome, Mr. Ologun Festus. Over to you. You can unmute and take the floor. Please, if you have your slide, give your slide to Mr. Samuel. You need to communicate with him. He's the one, he will help you out with your slide and other things. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry, I have a lot of things I'm doing at the moment, and please kindly manage the time with me. So I'm going to share the slide with the admin so that I can probably help us to um,
So can we, Mr. Samuel, do you have the slide? Can we have it up so that I can start? Okay, or you send, maybe you can just send a WhatsApp so that I can. I expect you to have, I expect you to have it before now. We are waiting. What's the update? If you don't have the slide, you can just send me, you can continue and then just send me the slide on my WhatsApp, then I'll share with you. Looks like, okay. Why the network issue this period? The network is been like this week. It's been anyway. Let's know. At least it's coming in now. All right, well, I'm waiting for this slide, but probably I can continue with. Okay, so I was sharing this. When you're ready, kindly let me know, because I like us to always maximize time because of people having different things to do. We have all the arrangements on my hand. I put okay. So there's the network challenge there. Okay, so guys, I know that we're getting better day by day. So we don't have to. We just have to move ahead. But I was sharing with us about what we are planning for this 2023. We will be having what like workshop for nano businesses. We target that if you can give space, you can give hosting, free hosting space for like 100 MSME. At least you can still, as a way to support, we're going to do that. But it's not going to be for those who will not be ready to promote their businesses online. Because one of the things I've discovered is that some people have a website, but the website is not functioning. They just have website, some have e-commerce, and it's just there. The truth we all need to know is that you cannot open shop and you don't advertise, you don't promote, and you expect people to want to sell. You are doing business, you must put money, get money, and even we understand that the drive of the business is advertisement. So many people don't always want to sell online. There's no way you can sell online without putting money. It's not just about uploading products. I see some people, they say, but I'm online, but do you promote? You are not, it's not automatic. Selling online is not automatic. That you are online doesn't mean that you will sell. It's not automatic. There are things you need to know, and that is why we do series of trainings. People will not spend time to. I personally check, see some videos, some ladies doing videos saying that thank God for Empower Africa project. They are the one that helped me, and they gave me money. So I've tried it. It's working for me. You can, and telling people to collect their form. That's fake. Please, that's fake. And the same thing I mentioned about why we need to talk about this, that you can't stay all alone. You will need to relate with people. So, and I remember I mentioned about Smidan as well. If you go online and you type Smidan loan, be sure that I said it, smidan.gov.ng is Smidan direct website. smidan.gov.ng, and then the Smidan register.ng is to register as part of Smidan. And you don't even need, once you are on smidan.gov.ng now, anything you want to do, if you want to register as an NMSMEs, is there for you. You will see where to click that will redirect you to the link. If you want to find out about anything that Smidan is doing, if you want to go to smidan.gov.ng, you can be able to see, they will see the blog, you will see the news, you will see everything that is there. You will see everything. And then there's one message again that is spreading now, that's from NASA, that is saying 100,000. Even the mix of 100,000 laptop, 100,000 grants, and laptop grant. All those, and people believe all those things, and before you know it, they scam you. NASA is a microfinance bank, and NASA is not giving out grants to anybody. It's not giving out grants to anybody, for crying out loud. And we keep talking about this, and people still keep sharing it. It's very disturbing. People still keep sharing all this fake news, and the more as you share it, people respect your information. They click, and before you know it, they are being scammed. They are being scammed day by day. Money is going. Millions of naira are being cleared because of all this are wolf thing. So there is no 100,000 naira grant from NASA or 500,000 or laptop. Nobody is sharing laptop. Nobody is giving anybody laptop. He said the student laptop. There is no student laptop. Where do you see all those things? And they are spreading. So let's really be careful. So for us on Empower Africa project, we will always be sure to pass across the right information. We will let you know the opportunities that are very, like I discussed on you, like when the Tony Illuminating Foundation came out, I will always tell people what is out and how to be part of them. And then for some of the meetings as well, like I said, there are three, like we have programs that you easily join online like this. And then we have some programs that you can go to Connect Center to be part of it. And then we have some programs that you can solely hold. You can host any of our training program. You can host any of our training program, and you host those programs. We come around, we train. If it's data empowerment, we can host a data empowerment conference. Can do data empowerment training conference. We'll train on digital marketing, on general digital skills training generally. So we have this, you have this opportunity, you have the organization, you have the association, you want us to have training with you, maybe hybrid, you put yourself together, and from studio we can really relate and train you. And for us, for all those trainings, we really don't charge. We would first make all those trainings free with no fee. And of course, the ministry must continue. We take honorarium. We don't charge. We take forever. Just want businesses to be better. So, and that's just all I have to share with us. So, I think now I will have to stop here, and let's allow the speaker who will be taking the floor soon. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Samuel, I think you have the slide. Bring the slide up. If he's having issue with network, can go ahead with the slide, not to keep people waiting. You have this up just share the slide with you on WhatsApp. And let me see. Let me just so I can just. Oh, okay, good. So that we don't just keep people waiting. It's what I do. So easily, it's because we is supposed to use Glow. We discussed that, and I don't know why. I will make every arrangement with him to be able to do that. So I think he's in now. So if you have the slide up, uh, let's have the slide and let's know what is next. So he's here with his mobile. He's in with his mobile. So can you? Okay, let's hear you.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Though the slides be a bit be not really set, I'm going to have shared the PDF file for easy accessibility. That's why I'm trying to do it this way so that everybody can see. Let me see if I can do it as PDF so that easy for us to see. Okay. So sorry about the inconveniences. All right. The importance of this is welcome everyone once again. And like I said, the first thing we need to do is to register on this platform. So once you sign up, to be able to have access to all those products. And the website is clubcash.com/digital. So once you input that onto your Google Chrome, make sure you use Google Chrome, please. Input that onto your Google Chrome, so it will be easy for you to sign up. So after registration, so once you click on the sign up button or register button, I'm going to ask you some questions. And what are the questions? I'm going to ask you for your full name. Please, can you move to registration slides, please? All right. Okay, the training, the importance of the training or the feature is going to be how to buy the chat card, how to fund your wallet, buy airtime, and all the likes. Then, now this is where I'm talking about. This is where to sign up. This is where to register. So you're going to input the link you can see on the screen to your Google Chrome, which is www.clubcast.com/digital. So then you're able to input your full name, input your email address, your phone number, and please you are going to input your what's it called, the password. Then looking at the beneath the page, you will see where we put password hint, which is where the password is being, where the things you need to consider in setting your password. The first thing is capital letter. The second thing is small letter. The other one is letters, maybe any sign, slash, any sign at all, dots, hyphen, column, then with number. Anyone you put is good to go. You put, for example, your name is Precious. You can put capital letter P, then if anyone Precious, then you add number, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, whatever number you want to add. So once you do this, then you click on sign up or register. You click on sign up or register. So once you are able to do that, then you have access to all those products that we have on the platform. So the first thing is, how do you fund your wallet? So once you do the registration, I believe the admin is going to share the links with us on how to register. And I believe WhatsApp group has been created for further question and training. So if you have your question that you want to ask, you want us to, probably there's something in the course of transaction, or you're having any challenges so far, so we are here to always help you. So we are 24/7 available to render any assistance to you to resolve all issues as fast as possible. So once you do this, then the next thing for you to fund your wallet by yourself, you can do this by yourself. That is a DIY, do it yourself. So you click on the menu, select deposit money, you put the amount you want to deposit or you want to pay. You click on payment. We have two payment options. It's either you use bank transfer, mobile transfer, or ATM card. So if you are using the ATM card, it means that you are going to input your card details, your card number, the CVV number, the PIN, and every other card information provided. So once you do this, you'll be able to use your card, and your account is being debited after the OTP has been sent from your bank to make sure that you are the one initiating the transaction. So that is how to fund your wallet. So once your wallet is being found, the next thing is you go to this is the second option, like I talked about. Sorry about that. So where you can make deposits of through your bank mobile app, or you go to bank by yourself. So upon this one, so once you click on the amount you want to pay, like the other period, click on deposit the amount, enter the amount you want to pay. I hope I'm not too rushed. So input the amount you want to pay, then select your payment method. Like I said earlier, we have two payment methods, ATM and bank transfer. So upon this bank transfer, you are going to be given a virtual account number linked to your store, so link to your account. So if your number is 081, it's going to show you the account name plus the 3 digits of your first number. It's going to be show you the account where you can actually pay into plus your number, so that you know that that's your own account number. And please note, for example, you are after this training and you want to maybe invite somebody. When we get there, I'll be able to talk more extensively on that. But let me just quickly, tell us this. So you don't give your account number to anybody. For example, now you're expecting a particular amount of money from your client, and you feel like, I don't want to use my first bank, I don't want to use my UPA. Let me use this bank given to me by this platform. Please, if you do that, it means that you are sending money to your wallet, not to your bank account. So the money will come directly to your wallet instantly. So that is if you give the number to the account number to anybody to pay for you. Okay, let's move on. So after your wallet has been funded, then the next thing is, how do you buy the product we have on the platform? So how do you buy the product we have on the platform? Initially, this KYC is compulsory, but I think there's a review on it now, definitely. But if in case you are having issue with your KYC, you are trying to generate your KYC, your account number is not really going through for you, please communicate with the admin. I think they will add everybody to a particular WhatsApp where we'll be able to iron issues arise. Maybe when you're having technical issues or challenges with any issues on your account, maybe the cost of registration, in the cost of funding your wallet, or you try to purchase product and it's not given to you on time, or there's network glitch or any other thing. So you communicate to us as fast as possible. Like I said, 247, we are available for you. So how do you buy products on this platform? So how do you buy airtime? So if you want to page, if you are using your phone, at the top corner of your page, the two sides, both left and right. For the right hand side, you will see where the right menu. And for the left hand side, for the left hand side, we see where the right menu. Then for the right hand side, you see 3 lines, 3 strokes like that.
Then just click on any of these two. It will bring out a drop down for you. So click on the first, which is buy airtime. So you click on buy airtime, then you supply the network you want to purchase, maybe MTN, Glo, Airtel, or Etisalat. You input the value you want to buy, maybe 100 naira, 200 naira, or 500. We actually have three denominations there, which is 100 naira, 200 and 500. You input the number you are sending the airtime to. That is if you want to do the virtual top-up, which is we know as VTU. So if you want to do that, then input the phone number of the receiver or recipient, then you click on buy now. So it's going to charge you from your wallet, and the person or your customer is going to receive the airtime as fast as possible. In less than 5 seconds, you receive your product. Please, in case you have any question, you can jot them down, probably give it to admin, they will communicate to me, and I'll be able to answer them before the end of this training. Okay, the next thing is, how do you buy data bundle? How do you buy data bundle? So to buy data bundle is still the same thing on like how to buy the airtime. You just click on the menu, and so once you click on the menu, select data bundle. Select data bundle. Apology about it, please. So you select data bundle. Once you select data bundle, you input the phone number you want to send the data to. You input the gig you want to send. We have 500 MB, which is the least one, which is 122 naira or thereabout, 125 naira. Then you input the phone number. Then click on buy now. As you can see, I believe you can all see the screen. So click on the data bundle, select the network you want to buy, maybe MTN, Glo, Salat, or 9Mobile, or Airtel rather. Then choose the data plan, 500 MB, 1 gig, 5 gig, 3 gig, 2 gig, depending on your capacity. Enter the phone number you are sending this to. Please, there's a place they write auto renew. So let me quickly explain this before we continue. There's a place they write auto renew. Please, if you are sending to your customer, you are sending to somebody, and you don't know the person, please make sure your auto renew is always on no. So leave it on no, because what that means is if you should probably put it a day, on a daily, 3 days, 1 week, then you'll be able to, the person will start receiving the airtime from you as fast as possible. So that is how to purchase the product. We have cable TV, see the same thing. Click on cable TV subscriptions, be able to follow the instructions. Then electricity payment, the same thing, follow the instruction. If you want to generate e-pin like voucher, go to more options. You see where they have more options. Then you click on it, be able to print your recharge card, like print it by yourself, generate the pin. So I believe we have a lot of things on this platform where you can actually enjoy. I remember, like I said earlier, before I round up, if you make use of this platform for personal use, at least in less than 1 year, you should make up to save at least up to 50,000 for yourself. And if you are using it for personal use, I think you should be able to make up to 2, 3, depending on your capacity to do market or to sell. And you should make up to a reasonable amount of money at the end of the day. So on this note, I want to say thank you for the organizer of this program, who at least organized something like this for us to be able to be a beneficiary and start doing something for ourselves. So in case you have any questions, so reach out to the admin or the organizer of this program. They're going to get in touch with me on how to handle your questions. And on this note, I'm going to say thank you, everyone, and God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. That was a good one. So, quick one. Because of the time we were supposed to cover a lot. But let me ask the question: why should I can always buy airtime? Very good. I can always buy airtime. Why should I consider Top Connect? What is the difference I'm buying, okay, I'm buying 1,000 airtime, MTN, buy or Airtel or Glo. Why should I buy any other place? What is the cocoa? What is the key? Where is the business? So I don't know if you understand the question. Do you understand the question? Do you get my question?
So in case you have any question, please kindly ask your question.
Yes, the question is. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
I said, okay, why should I go to talk to her? But you talk about the price. What gives you the if I'm buying 10 or if I'm receiving 10, I need to have a idea.
Yes, if you are, for example, now, yes, thank you very much for that question. Now, the price of airtime, actually, everybody know that we sell airtime at the rate of 100 naira outside. But if you are buying from this platform, you are going to buy less price compared to the one you are buying outside. MTN is you are going to buy MTN at the rate of 95 naira. Glo is at the rate of 93 naira. So it means on 100 naira you are making 5 naira for MTN, then 7 naira for Glo. So that's for 100 naira. But if you are buying like 1,000, if you do the calculation yourself, you know how much you are going to make on each recharge card you purchase on every day. For example, now you sell a recharge card of 100 naira, 1,000 naira for like 10 people, which is 70 naira times 10. That is around 700 in a day. If you continue in that line for the whole month, you know how much you are going to make to yourself. So I don't know if I've answered the question. So the price is very compared to what you buy outside.
My ratio for 1 year is 10,000 naira.
Yes, your registration for 1 year cover 10,000, which is for subscription. Then with this, you'll be able to buy anything you want to buy. Then you can refer people to your shop. If you want to start selling to people, yes, you can refer people to come and register under you. Yes, you will print the pin. So once you click login, after registration, just go to the menu, then click on more option. You see print recharge card. Click on it, then follow the instruction. Input the network you want to buy, the volume, and click on generate pin. You will see your pin will generated instantly, and you can copy it out. You can print it with a printer.
All right, thank you. Let's move to the next session. We'll come back.
All right, so thank you very much.
Please help us. You're receiving on YouTube, I guess. Okay. So we have the next speaker. Like I said, we don't want to waste time. As you can see on the slide, the Trove experience. And it's all about creating wealth online. And that's the session we'll be going to now. And we have Joshua, Inapa, Nico Williams. who will be taking us, is the head of growth. Is head of growth at Trove Technologies Limited. He's been an expert when it comes to tech business, marketing, and development. So, without wasting time, let's welcome Joshua and telling us about what will benefit investors in Trove and the Trove experience. Joshua, you have the floor. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much, Blessed. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to speak to everyone on this call. My name is Joshua Inni Akwaniko. I'm the head of growth for Africa for Trove. So I'm in charge of Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and the rest of Africa. And it's a pleasure to always share knowledge across board with great and awesome communities like yourselves. Can I move to the next slide? Do I have control of this, or is someone moving it for me? Okay, next slide. All right. So why are we here, right? It's a simple question, and even a further question to say, why do we want to build wealth, right? Everyone has a desire to be financially independent. Everyone has a desire to, not have to worry about where money is coming from. And everyone sees a lot of what we call, quote and unquote, big men, and we aspire to be like these men that seem not to have any, financial concerns. They have excess and surplus, right? And we want to be like them, and we want to, have that kind of wealth. So we want to build it, right? Now, one thing we need to first understand, right, is, some statistics that nearly half the world population is living in poverty. Let that sink in for a little bit. If half the world's population is living in poverty, and how is it, if half the world's population is living in poverty, right, it's such a large amount of people. Let's assume that the world has 7 billion people. That means 3.5 billion people are living in poverty, right? And out of that number, 1.5 billion people are living in extreme poverty. And that is insane to even think about. But how can we not be the case, right? Robert Koyoshika said, the single most important asset we have is our minds. If we train well, we can create enormous wealth in what seems to be an instant. And those are wise words, because really and truly, the greatest asset anyone has is their mind, right? Because it is one asset that you manage by yourself. It's one asset that you are responsible for its growth. You're responsible for its for its churning out, or whatever idea creation and things of the sort, right? It is one asset that you own primarily and nobody shares with you. Now, this slide shows, where is your money? It's a simple question. It asks, where is your money, right? And if all of us, take a dive into our finances, we would all see that we have our money divided across these 4 categories, right? We have assets, right? And assets are anything of value or a resource of value that can be converted into cash. And assets are also a store of value that generate revenue for you, generate money for you, right? And this is where we want our money to be. What begins to happen is a lot of people, whenever they get income, right, they decide to take care of, focus so much on their expenses, right? And once they focus on their expenses, right, there's nothing left for assets. The way money should be divided or the way money should be shared, right, is first of all, you have your assets, which should have a bulk of your financial income, right? And then you need to increase the amount of money you put into your assets. You need to build up your assets to a point where, it begins to generate the kind of revenue, the kind of finance that you desire. I'll give you an example. Imagine you have 10 million, and with this 10 million, you decide to buy a printing machine, right? And your printing machine is 2.5 million. Now, once you bought that, it becomes an asset to you. If you put that printing machine in Mushin or in Shomolu, it begins to generate an asset of maybe, let's say 10%, which is about 250,000 every month, right? In 10 months, you have gotten back the money that you used to acquire the machine, and you still have the machine. So automatically, your store of value and your assets has gone up significantly, and then that's what now attributes to what you are worth in terms of net worth. So you can say, oh, this business has grown by 100% simply because you have an asset of 2.5 million and you have generated 2.5 million over the course of 10 months. Now, we also, in this category, in this slide, we also have liabilities, right? And liabilities are our monthly, demands for money. So it's a debt or a financial obligation that needs to be paid off. So example would be in a situation where people have financial commitments month on month. So example, maybe say you loan money to get a car, and every month you need to pay a certain amount of money. That is a liability, right? In terms of, you have acquired this asset, but you have a liability payment of 100,000 every month that must be serviced, right? So that is a debt. That's a financial obligation that needs to be serviced. Now, income is money received. And this is also a good category for us to focus on and also to increase our energies towards. We need to also think about how can we increase our incomes? How can we increase our incomes? Very important question, right? It is advised that people have multiple sources of incomes. You have your 9 to 5 that is a secure income for you, but you also have your side business, right? And people do various side business, from selling phones online to selling food to selling fashion, to selling, branded items, whatever pretty much you see as a source of income, that can use to generate income for you. That's where you want to put in a lot of your energy. And then expenses. Everyone has expenses. Everyone has experience with expenses, right? Because what begins to happen is you just find out that, by Tuesday you need to buy fuel because your gen needs the fuel, or you need to go to the market so you can buy food and cook, or you need to take care of certain things, buy groceries, go to the supermarket and buy foodstuffs that you use to stock your fridge. Those are all expenses, right? But this is something that we need to learn to manage. We need to learn to manage it significantly, right? Because it is one of the biggest drains. You should apportion a section of your income to expenses, right? Just enough for you to take care of your expenses. But what you really need to do when it comes to where your money is to pour it into your assets. Okay, so I'll move on from this. Okay, and now what is one way you can build up assets, right? You can build up assets by owning a stock. Okay, now what is a stock? A stock is actually a piece of a company. Alternatively, you can define it as owning a percentage of a company. So what that means is when you own a stock, you own a piece of the company in which you have acquired the stock. So let me use an example. Let us say MTN is a pizza, right? And this is a pizza here in the image right here. And you want to buy a stock of MTN. And you say you want to buy 10,000 naira worth, or 100,000 naira worth, or 1 million naira worth of MTN. What begins to happen is you can sell, so you can buy the piece, right? And that piece entitles you to ownership of the stock itself, right? And that's why we say that when you own a stock, you own a percentage of the company. Now, investing in the stock market is one of the best ways to build long-term wealth. And this is a statement that is so true, right? Because really and truly, when we hear of these men, so let's use Dangotes of this world, the Tony Lumelu of this world, the Bill Gates and the Elon Musk, and you hear that they are worth $5 billion, $20 billion, $40 billion, right? One thing you need to understand is that money is not in cash. That money is not in cash. They do not have $40 billion sitting in the bank. No. What they have is shares of their businesses valued at unit prices that amass to the amount of wealth that they own. What that means is if one share is worth $1, let's say one share of Dangote is worth $1, right? Or since it's Dangote, let's use Naira. Let's say one share of Dangote is worth 100 Naira. And Dangote has 25 billion shares of Dangote Group. Automatically, if you do the math, that means he has 25 billion Naira in equity ownership of Dangote. And that is how these men have their wealth. They have their wealth by investing in the stock market, and they have their wealth by owning equities of companies. Now, to take it even further, right? One interesting fact to note is the wealthiest 10% of American households own 89% of all of the US. And let that sink in. 10% of Americans, 10% of people that live in the US own 89% of the US. That in itself is how they have amassed their wealth, really and truly, right? And how did they do it? Through stock ownership. A record high highlights that stock market roles increase wealth across board, right? And how does it increase wealth? It is because they own all the companies that run the US. So the Walmarts of this world, the Tesla, the Microsoft, the Oracle, the Amazons, right? All these businesses control the US economy to a certain level. And because of that, you can say that they own 89% of the US. Now, a fact that should be recognized is the top 1% gained almost $6.5 trillion in corporate equity and mutual funds during the pandemic. Imagine that. that the top 1% gained over $6.5 trillion, not million, no, not billion, trillion dollars in corporate equity and mutual fund wealth during the pandemic. And this is according to the latest data from the US Federal Reserve, meaning that in the pandemic, that the top 1% still earned money. They still made money because they owned these shares, because they owned these companies, right? The bottom 90% of Americans hold 11% of stocks in the US. Now look at the reverse. 10% of Americans own 89% of US stocks, right? While the bottom 90% own just 11% of US stocks and added to a $1.2 trillion in wealth during the COVID pandemic. Well, what does this simply say to us, right? It says that one of the biggest ways people acquire wealth is simply investing in the stock market and owning companies that are that influence world decisions and influence world activities across board. I don't know if I still have people that if I've lost people or everyone is still here with me. Just for a okay, great. Just wanted to be sure. All right. Now there are some stock market myths, right? Myths that go around the investment circles, right? But the top 3 myths of the stock market is that stock market, investing in the stock market is a gamble. That's not true, right? That is not true. The stock market entails you to be calm, right, on assets, and also requires a fraction of profits, right? When you own stocks, you are entailed to a claim of assets and a fraction of company profits, right? It's not a gamble. It is certain, right, that you will receive part of the profit as a shareholder. Too often, investors think of shares as simply a trading vehicle, and they forget that the stock represents ownership. So let us not just, when you put in money, when you invest in the stock market, you are not just you're not just there for the money. You have ownership of this business. Your voice matters, right? Your opinion matters, right? And this stock, right? This stock ownership, entitles you to a claim of profits and a fraction of the business. It is not gambling. Gambling is when you're trying to play the odds, right? Oh, is Man U going to win 2-0? Or, are you playing random numbers with Baba Ejebu? No, right? That is not the case here. What you're doing here is simply owning or building your asset base by owning shares, right? The next thing is investment club. The club for brokers is for the rich, right? Public data and research tools previously available only to brokerage or now the rich in particular, right? Individuals to use, right? Because back in the early 20s and in the mid 20s, when I mean mid 20s, I mean early 2000s and mid 2000s. For you to access shares used to be such a difficult thing. It used to be such a difficult thing, but recently it is been demystified, right, and made seamless with tools like Trove, and I'll get to that. Now, the next myth is stock market must go up and must come down. The truth is the stock market is completely influenced by economic activities, right? When the economy is doing great, the stock market does great. When the economy is doing bad, the stock market does bad. right? It is a reaction, a cause and effect conundrum, phenomenon, right? Because what you're looking at is one activity affects another activity and then influences the outcome in itself. So it's very important to know that although the stock market goes down, it has to undergo some corrections, right? And that's why it goes up and down. The market needs to self-correct. At this point, is the stock price is a reflection of the company. So the company is doing well, right? The stock on the stock market will do well. If the company is doing badly, the stock price would go down as well. So if you find a good firm, you find a great firm run by excellent managers, the stock outlook would always remain positive. Can remain positive. So what it means is that if you find a firm that manages people's money, right, they'd always find ways to hedge their bets. So one stock can be doing badly, but one other stock will be doing good. And that's based on their own level of expertise, right? And that is because they are required to provide a certain percentage on a monthly basis or even an annual basis. So how do people make money by holding stock? They make money by what is called dividends, right? So what is a dividend? A dividend is a distribution of profit by a corporation to its shareholders. When a corporation earns a profit or surplus, it is able to pay a portion of the profits as a dividend to its shareholders. So when you hear GTB declare its profits, this year we made 141 billion naira, right? As a shareholder in GTB, you are entitled to dividend. And the dividend is the percentage in which they decide to share to the shareholders. And they are dividend stocks, right? These are legacy stocks that have been in the market for a while. They have been tried and tested, and they have delivered results year in, year out, right? A lot of the traditional businesses provide dividend stocks or have dividend stocks. So the Nestle's of this world, the Cadbury's, the Dangote, the BOA, these are dividend stocks. Now, growth stocks are categorized as the faster a business grows, the more willing investors are willing to purchase its stocks, and the more they are willing to buy it. Most of the popular consumer businesses have maintained an upward trajectory for the years. So these are businesses that are on steady increase year in, year out. Year in, year out, they are growing by 2x, 3x, 4x, right? And they are doubling their money or doubling their revenue or even growing above expectation. Now, good. So if you take a look at some dividend-paying stocks, Chevron has an average yield of 5%, ExxonMobil 5.5%, MTN 7%, Dangote Cement 7%. These are the yields that you can expect on the amount of shares you own, right, year in, year out. Because these companies have been tried and tested, and they understand what it takes, right, to provide you returns. These are examples of growth stocks. If you notice, a lot of these companies are, new companies. If I want to say that in this context, right? So these are companies that year in, year out, they keep growing, right? So imagine if you had invested $1,000 in Tesla 10 years ago, you'd have had an approximate $149,000. If you had invested, let's allow that to even sink in a little bit. Imagine if all you had done was put in $1,000. Let's even bring this down. Let's say you put in $100. That means you will have had $14,900. Let's even say you put in $10. Your $10 will have grown to $1,490. So imagine investing $10. 10 years later, you have $1,490. So imagine if you had invested over the period of the year, you had invested $100,000. That would automatically mean that you will have made $149 million by just investing that amount. Think about that. And then this can be seen across different growth stocks. So Amazon, if you had invested $1,000 over 20 years, today it'd be $218,000. Same thing with Apple, $1,000 20 years ago today will have been $410. Now, what is one thing in common with all the stocks, right? I don't know if I can get some interaction from the listeners. What is one thing that is particular about the stock? I would like to get feedback if I can. Okay. Any other feedback?
No, because I'm trying to check because the people participants are on the YouTube, so I'm taking that.
Okay. Okay. So maybe in the comment section you can, measure in the comment section, right? Well, one thing that is most consistent here is that these stocks were held for a long period of time. 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, 5 years. What does this say about stocks, right? Stocks are a long-term investment that needs to be built over time. It is not something that you snap your fingers and you have millions of dollars in the account. No, that's not the case. What you have is steadily people build up their portfolios, continuously invest in different shares and, watch it grow over time. That's why, if you notice, back in my parents' time, my father owned some shares, right? When he bought it, it was not worth a lot. But bring it now to this time, it's worth quite a sizable amount. Imagine people that bought, let's use typical examples. Do we know that the Awolowo family still earns money from every bottle of Coke sold in this country? And it's not, they didn't do magic. It's not corruption, no. All they simply did was that they bought up equity in Coke when Coke came into the country. And because they've done that, every year they're entitled to profit from sales of Coke. That's it. And that singular decision by Bafemi Awolowo, right, has taken care of his family for almost 2 generations. Allow that to sink in. So onto that, I'll move to the next slide. Now, there are other instruments in which you can invest in. Now, this is a bit on the technical side, but I will still discuss it. There are other instruments in which you can invest in called ETFs. These are exchange traded funds. Now, what's an ETF? To make it simple, right? Imagine you are buying one stock of MTN for $10. With an ETF, you are buying $10 of 100 different companies put into one. So an ETF is a type of fund that holds multiple underlying assets rather than one stock. because there are multiple assets within an ETF, they can be popular. They are popularly full of diverse companies, right? An ETF can own hundreds of files, can hold hundreds or thousands of stocks across various industries, or it could be isolated to one particular industry or sector. What it means is an ETF can have 100 companies that are 100 companies that are in the transportation sector in one single fund. And you can buy into that fund, meaning you're buying into 100 different companies. And then you're watching those companies. As those companies perform, you make money. So this is a very key investment tool that quite a number of brokers use, right? Because they want to hedge their bets. Okay. All right. So how do you pick the right ETF? How do you pick the right ETF? Now, one, the right ETF can be selected by trade volume. Trade volume is an excellent indicator of liquidity regarding the asset class, meaning how much money, or how much money has already been put into this ETF. This ETF has already amassed a huge fund of $1 billion. You know that if people have invested almost $1 billion in an ETF, you know that that ETF in itself must succeed, because return on investment must be guaranteed to every investor, right? And you know that the brokers that are managing, the hedge fund managers, right, must ensure that that ETF succeeds, right? So trading activity is very important to measuring that. Now, the next thing, the second way you can pick the right ETF is by diversification, right? How diverse is the ETF? It's preferable to invest in an ETF that has a widely followed index rather than an obscure index that has a narrow industry or a geographic. Of this ETF. You can use that to, make your decision. Now, how do we get things started? How do you get to start investing in the stock market and start building wealth like the Tony Lumelus of this world, like the Dangotes of this world? What tool do you use or do you need to achieve this? What you need is truth in itself. On ExxonMobil stocks Now, for the Naira stocks, for the local stocks, you can buy stocks with the Trove platform. And one thing also is with the Trove platform, your businesses can also own these companies. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you are a car dealer and you sell cars. With Trove, you can own shares in Toyota itself, own shares in Tesla, own shares in Ford, own shares in Mercedes-Benz, right? And you can all own these shares as low as $10, right? But that's as an individual, that as a business, you need to own you have to have a minimum acquisition. And the minimum acquisition is about $1,000. You have to, as a business, you have to take it on at about $1,000. Okay. These are the stocks you can find on Trove. As I said, Apple, Snapchat, Facebook, Nike. These are the foreign stocks. GTGO, Access Bank. These are the American stocks or the global stocks. And we mentioned ETFs. Examples of ETFs that we have on our building 90% of your income. You should have already started putting 90% of your income into assets because you are young. It's time for you to build, right? If you're further down the age of 50, right, you minus 110 from 50, that will give you 40%, right? You need to already, by that point, you already have most of your assets, you already had the experience, and with that experience, 60, sorry, just to clarify, 60, you minus 110 minus 50, that means 6% of your finance needs to be in an asset, right? So by the time you do the percentage of your portfolio, by the time you minus 110 by your age, that will give you the percentage of your portfolio that needs to be in stock. Your portfolio in itself means your total finance, the total of finance available to you. That's what you need to have in stocks, right? Another way is by risk profile. So build a profile that reflects how much risk you can tolerate. So you can either take safe bets with companies, right? Safe bets being these companies are tried and tested. We know that they're going to succeed. We know that they're not going to crumble. How do we make this work, right? What can I tolerate? What can I manage? So it's also very interesting to know. That's one way for your asset allocation. Another way is to build a portfolio based on your investment goals and how long you can afford to invest for. This is very, very important to note. When you are investing, you need to invest money that you can afford to lose. Let me say that again. When you are investing, you need to invest money that you can afford to lose in the stock market. And I'll tell you why I say that so boldly, right? Everyone prays that the stock market goes up by 40%, 60%, sometimes 100 and something percent. But everybody doesn't consider the fact that your market can also go down, can also drop, can also lose value, right? And once the market loses value, right, you have lost money as well. So that's why you need to be a long-term investor, because one way to mitigate against such a loss is knowing that your money is there for the long haul. The market would always self-correct. So even if the market goes down, it will always go up. That's why they always say buy the dip. So buying the dip means the share price of a company was 15 naira. Over some economic activities that happened, the share price dropped to 20 naira and then dropped to 10 naira. Buy it at 10 naira. Because that share price that you buy at 10 naira will still go back up to 50. It might not happen in 1 year, it might not happen in 2 years, but it will go back up. Reason because the economy itself would require it to. So it's very important to know that buying a stock is a long-term hold, right? And know that the market itself would always self-correct itself. So set a goal for yourself. I want to own 100,000 units of Access Bank, right? Or I want to own 100,000 units of Google. You pace yourself and say, okay, every month I'm going to invest $100. Every month I'm going to invest 10,000 naira to achieve my goal, right? And before you know it, as time happens, as time occurs, you begin to build this wealth. Yes. So as I already said before, once you have allocated, it's very important that you start a habit of contributing regularly, right? Your best bet is to set up a regular deposit, and it's honestly, the amount itself is particular to you. There's no certain amount. There's no amount that you don't. There's no amount that you can't put in, right, based on the minimum requirements that we mentioned earlier. As an individual, if you're doing Naira shares, Naira equity stocks, you can do it for 1,000 Naira. If you're doing global, it's $10. If you're doing it as a business, it's $1,000. Right? So you need to set up your best bet of recurring deposits. So you always save a bit of money in your investment account, and saving that money, you can save it with us. You also need to monitor your assets and adjust where you see fit. Now, how do you monitor and adjust? One way that you can definitely monitor and adjust is by understanding how the market works. Now, on Trove, we have something called Trove University and Market Insights. Now, Trove University and Market Insight provides training investment courses, free investment courses that you can take to accustom yourself with the investment market, with the investment environment, and investment activities, right? So on the Trove app, all you have to do is go there, take a look at courses that you might want to understand, read up and be informed. So the best way to adjust and regulate is to be informed. You have to look at what's happening in the news. You need to understand what's happening in the stock market news itself. Just have that information. And the best way to have this information is to read. Read articles about companies that you're interested in. Google what's happening with this company. If I'm interested in Tesla, I need to know what's happening with Tesla every other day. Every day, every week, I need to be updated. Oh, Tesla did this, or Tesla did that. Every day if possible. Because the market moves every day. The market moves every day. It's very important that we look at it that way. And you get started today. Download the Trove app. It's available on the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store. We also have a web version. Just go to our website and which is www.trovapp.co, right? And begin to build global wealth and local wealth with Trove. Thank you so very much for staying through this presentation. Very happy to receive questions and comments, and I left some time for that to happen because I believe that there will be some questions and comments. I will take it off from there. Blessed, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Also, you have your money. And then we need to understand stock, and stock market meets people think people. It's not and the stuff, and we appreciate that we have regard, and then consider the making money holding stocks, then how to pick the right exchange traded funds, the ETF. Then we have Trove to help in investing. That's the Trove Finance. The decided asset allocation by your age, by profile, by series of indications. And then we look at the processes of wise investment. You don't just put money and you don't just do it once. You rebalance, you keep reinvesting on monthly basis. So I think the number one question is what is for individual is the minimum is $10, but is the maximum for him? That's the question.
Thank you so much. So, I mean, when it comes to individual, there is no maximum. It is based on your ability, right? Now, one thing you need to know is that Trove is insured and it has its partners that have insured investments as high as $500,000. As high as $500,000 as an individual. We have insurance for that. And even beyond it, right? We've realized that most people do not really pass $500,000 from Nigeria, but some of our clients outside have above that. And then, we have already insured for that level as well, even beyond 500. But for the Nigerian market, right, we have insurance of up to $500,000 for your investment on our platform.
Okay. So second question, on the app, is it possible to do, that is the Naira, looking at the local stock and the international stock, is it possible doing the two concurrently?
Yes, you can do both local and foreign stocks on the app because the app has a multi-portfolio function that allows you to own portfolios on the US stock market and own portfolios on the Nigerian stock market. So once you download the app, you would see it there. You can own both portfolios in both currencies.
So on the app, how about monitoring? You see where you have your resources, where you have your money there.
Deposit into the vault from your current bank account into our Trove vault, which is like a Trove wallet, which is a virtual wallet pretty much. It is from that virtual wallet that you can begin to make purchases on the Nigerian stock market or in the US stock market. If you want to make it in the US stock market, because your money is already in Naira, you can buy directly in Naira. But if you want to buy in the US stock market, right, we would convert the money for you on the app in itself, and then we would buy that stock for you, which would now display in your portfolio, so in your various portfolios.
So lastly, I'm really okay. So lastly is peradventure something happened and I just want to stop the investment today. How easy it is to sell and to have my money back?
So once you want to dissolve your position, right? You can sell it as quickly as you would buy credit. You know, all you have to do is give the instruction and sell off the assets, and you will credit within 24 to 48 hours.
Right. So thank you, Joshua, for your time. And trust me, this is going to go far because what we do when we have sessions like this is that we make videos available for people over and over. So it's always good to have your contact because people, okay, we have the email there. Is that email enough or people can, but because what we know is that people always follow up to then they decide they want to ask other questions. So they can easily just send email to hello@troveapp.co or
Yes.
give me your okay.
Once they send to hello@troveapp.co, I will receive it.
Okay. So good. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of our program, the NMSMEs Leap Up Conference 2023. And that is we come to the end of the program for this year, closing with the Trove experience, creating wealth online. And it's been awesome. It's been great. So we want to appreciate all our participants for being there. We want to appreciate all our partners. We appreciate Connect.com. We appreciate all the companies, all the banks that have participated. And we know, like I said, we're getting better. So, and we are so sorry for all those network issues. Like some of the assurance is that some of the videos that have network issues, you find a way to put them together, do a kind of follow up on them, and repackage them to share across to all the platforms. So, for this, we want to close. I don't know if we have any message from Connect.com as we close the program. So Joshua, we really appreciate your time. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, so we want to appreciate everyone one more time. Odeji Misa, there's A after, right? Is that correct? Right, so we've come to the end of the program, and watch out for the videos. All the videos we'll try to repackage and send across, like I said, and then all the other programs from February. For this year, we have program almost every month for NMSME. So thank you. God bless.